I'm at Eastbrook Vegetable Farms, which is about 45 minutes away from Adelaide. It is stunning here, and behind me you can see the gorgeous Kalette growing. It's the season and they are just a wonderful vegetable to work with. I love the flavour of it. They are versatile because you can have them raw or you can have them cooked. In this recipe I'm going to use it as if it was a cabbage, and I'm going to turn it into a very traditional Korean dish, kimchi, which is a fermented cabbage dish with lots of chili and garlic in it. It is fantastic. All right, what I'm doing is cutting these gorgeous Kalette into quarters, so it's easier to break down the fibers so they become softer and more tender. Okay, once you've cut them into quarters, in a large bowl, I'm going to make a salty solution. So a generous amount of salt flakes along with some water. And then just with a spoon, I'll mix that. And that water needs to be warm, so some of that salt starts to dissolve. Okay, now we'll add our Kalettes. And then this is where you're going to get a bit of a workout, because what I need to do is just start to bruise and soften the Kalettes. So by doing this for about 5 minutes, you'll see they darken in colour and become really soft. After I've done that, I'm just going to leave it for about 1 to 2 hours. By doing that, it's going to absorb some of the salt, and that is going to preserve it so it lasts much longer than in its raw state. Okay, these have been sitting here for 1 hour and you can see how much they've broken down. Look how dark green they are, and they've softened. Now they're a little bit salty at the moment, so we need to wash all of that salt off. So into some fresh water, I'll place the little Kalettes, squeeze out that extra liquid, but don't throw it away because I'll use some of that at the end. So in they go, and then rinse them. And just in a nice clean tea towel, we'll drain them off, again squeezing all of that liquid out, and then we'll pop them in there. Now it's time to flavour these Kalettes. Now in another bowl, we're going to add some onion, and this is just finely grated white onion along with a very interesting Korean product. This is gochujang, which you can get from Asian grocers. It's a red pepper powder, and it looks like this is going to be quite a lot and overly spiced, but I promise you it actually has a nice, sweet, subtle peppery flavour, and it's slightly smoky, so it's nice with this. So in it goes. We want about 1/4 cup. And this is not traditional in the classic kimchi, but I like it to be slightly sweet to bring out the sweetness in those gorgeous Kalettes. So a small tablespoon of sugar and then some ginger. So I'll grate that ginger straight into that bowl. So nice, generous amount. All right, that's plenty of ginger, so we'll just tap that in. And now for some garlic. Now look at this garlic. There's a small one or a monster garlic. I don't know what they're feeding them here in South Australia, but I thought I would use this one because I found this morning at the markets. Look at this. And I remember growing up, we would have Korean students stay at our house, and every time they would come, they would bring a big container of kimchi, and I tell you what, there was loads of garlic in their variety. So mine's also gonna have lots of garlic. And I'm talking about a tablespoon of garlic. You want to taste it in this. And you can see I'm finely mincing it on this grater. I don't want big chunks of garlic in this. All right, we'll save the rest for later. In with the garlic. A few other little ingredients, some spring onions. And instead of finely chopping that, because we do have the onion in there, I want large battens of these spring onions because I want you to see them throughout the Kalette kimchi. And we'll add them to the bowl. And then now a hint of soy sauce. Again, about 1 tablespoon, and some fish sauce. So a teaspoon of fish sauce. And now with a spoon, I'm going to give that a mix. And again, just bruising everything with the back of the spoon. You can see that gorgeous colour from that Korean chili powder, and it smells so good. All right, now it's time to add our Kalettes. They've been drying nicely in the tea towel. And now we'll add them. And now you can see this dish really coming together now. Look at the gorgeous colors, especially when I start stirring it. Now with kimchi, it's one of those dishes that you don't eat straight away. It's a fermented food, so it needs time at room temperature. So I place it into a jar, and you want to compact it, so get a little bit in there, a few generous spoonfuls, and then with your hands, press it down. You want to compress this so all of the flavors mingle nicely, and a little bit more, and then press it in. Squish it down. You can see the moisture coming out of those vegetables. And that last bit will be squished down. Perfect. Now I like to top it with some of that pickling liquid. And then the last amount of the chili and the kalettes can go on top. Press down. You want it to go almost to the top, leaving about 2 centimeters, because as it sits there and starts to ferment, it'll actually increase in volume. So a small amount of that liquid again. And now the lid can go on, and that is Kalette Kimchi. Now, depending on what season it is, if it's winter, you want to leave this out at room temperature for about 2 weeks. In the hotter months, you can leave it for a week. Now, you know that the kimchi is ready when it has a slight fizz to it, and you store it in the fridge. My favorite way of eating it, a roast chook with some hot steamy rice. It is absolutely divine. Tell you what, kimchi done with cabbage, yeah, it's okay. Kimchi done with kalettes, well, that's taking it to the next level.